Hi everyone, I'm Danny Walker. Welcome to my channel. Today's episode is all about my favorite for the up close and personal videos of Miss Universe 2020. Today's episode is brought to you by Rehearsed to Relatable. It's the place where contestants can go to learn how to create a memorable moment in the interview room. If you want to learn how to stand out, then click the description below for more information. I need to state a disclosure for this episode because this is not my last episode for favorites for Miss Universe. This isn't necessarily a predictions episode, and I want to state that because there's probably going to be some favorites that I leave out of this episode, okay? I'm just going to preface that. This one is primarily about these up close and personal videos that we're seeing of the contestants. And it's a mixture of which contestants I think did a really great job sharing about themselves, which ones were just captivating, others that were wonderful to listen to, also the ones that really surprised me. So keep that in mind just watching this episode, and remember just to support the contestants that you love. Let's use kind words and be kind to one another in the comments. What I'm gonna start off with first here are essentially sort of like semi-finalist top videos that I watched. Ones that stuck out to me that I thought were done pretty well, and ones that are giving me some good indicators that these contestants are potentially going to be in a semifinal or move on in the Miss Universe competition. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Colombia. She was very sweet in this video, and she was just featured in another episode that I have about the contestants working with sponsors in LA. So if you want to see that, you can see a little bit more of her there. She's obviously very beautiful, which is, I feel, typical of contestants that are representing Colombia, right? That's just like, you kind of expect it. She talked about one of her goals in life is to create a children's foundation, and she shared this message of being strong, brave, and confident. I feel like this was very on brand for Miss Universe, and she has a really great grasp of what she wants to share about going forward in the competition. She got a little bit repetitive for me in her video. I wanted her to get deeper faster in this one. She was a little unexpected here. She talked about how she liked boxing, but also that she was a victim of sexual harassment. She talked about her journey within pageantry and how the most important voice for you to listen to is your own. She was unique to me. She's an artist, and she also works with children, essentially with art therapy, children who are sick or have terminal illnesses, and I just thought it was really beautiful, and it makes her stand out. She has such a great energy. I love that. She is biracial. Her parents are from Ghana and from Japan, so she did touch on that a little bit, but she just has such a positive outlook on life, and I loved that. She seems like she's so fun to hang out with. I feel like we would be friends if we were in the same room. Like, I feel like I would really vibe with her. She wants to be an actress. She's already doing that, but she essentially said that one day she hopes to win an Oscar, and I think that makes a lot of sense. This could potentially be a great opportunity for her to get more work in the US, and I think that was great. Canada shared a really touching story about how she was sent as a young girl to live in Canada. She was essentially separated from her family, and there's a lot that she's gone through, and that she knows what it feels like to be lonely. So I felt like she had this really heartfelt message in her video, and that she cares a lot about social justice and change. She's another contestant that's really standing out to me. She's also in my episode about contestants working with sponsors in LA, and she created her own foundation called Angel Hands, and it's all about providing people with tools to overcome difficult situations, and I think she did a great job with this video. She's an advocate for Alzheimer's and also an advocate for women. I felt like her video was so quick. She's really fun to listen to, and she's the contestant you just want to hear more from. Cambodia looked really beautiful in her video, and she was fun and just really likable in it. She talked about how she practices a traditional form of Cambodian fighting. I don't know the name of that style of fighting, but she talked about how one of her goals is to be an action star, and she wants to really share that part of her culture through her work, and I thought that was super neat. Thailand really surprised me. She talked about diving and spending time with her family, but I was really shocked that she did not focus on mental health, which is her advocacy. Brazil is someone who I'm really starting to pay attention to. She started an acting career in China, which is really unique. So apparently she is a movie star in China, but she also showed a lot of footage of her volunteering and giving back, and I think she's really great on camera, and for me, she's really moving up in my favorites. Indonesia's video was very beautifully shot, and I'm really not surprised about that. She has really been putting in so much effort leading up to the competition, and she's got some big shoes to fill, right? Indonesia placed last year and was incredible on stage, definitely one of my favorites. So I'm expecting a lot of really great things from her this year, and this video is a great indicator of all the hard work that she's been putting in. She is a tourism ambassador, so she's really proud of where she's from, and she is an advocate for women's rights, and she wants other young girls to fight for their rights, which is really great. Nicaragua is an agro-industrial engineer, super unique, really, really cool, and she came from a very humble family, which I love about her. She stated it as a positive thing, and for me, it made her very relatable. Now we're gonna talk about my ultra favorite videos. Okay, so when I narrow it down, if you were to ask me which contestants are really standing out in these videos, these are the first ones that just pop to the top of my mind. So I thought these were very, very well done. Let's get into it. South Africa, first of all, the second that I saw her on that camera, I was like, wow, she looks stunning, stunning, stunning in this video. But she's also very relaxed on camera. I would say more so here than she was when she was competing for the national title, which is great. That's great for her. There's a couple things that she mentioned that were really personal to her that I think could share a lot about her. The first is that she is an entrepreneur and she's a business owner. Great. Like, I love that. I totally relate to that. Next, she talked about her dad and how he passed away when she was young and how that caused her to have to step into this role of growing up quickly and becoming an adult. And that's the reason that she actually became involved in modeling, because she was helping her single mother at the time, and I thought that was wonderful. And then she wraps it up at the end by mentioning that you are not a product of your circumstances, you're a product of your choices. And I love that. I feel like I relate to that so much, because there's so many times in my life where I could have just given up on things and used my circumstance as an excuse to be mediocre, and you can't do that in life. You have to keep fighting for what you want, and I think that that was a really great, powerful message that she's already talking about even in this short clip. Huge fan favorite. After watching this video, it really kind of solidifies for me that India should be in a semifinal at the very least, if not a top 5. When I was watching her, her energy reminded me a lot of Zoe's last year, because I loved listening to Zoe speak on stage. It was just something that you sort of get wrapped up in, and then at the end of her interview, I was thinking, oh my gosh, it was over. It was just over so quick. So she talked about how she was a little girl and she was scared and living in this war-torn area, and how that really affects children. And she was very heartfelt when she was talking about this, but this video just stood out to me. She just looked beautiful, and I wanted to continue listening to what she has to say. Rabia looked beautiful on camera, which honestly I expected. She had some really great footage. She shared that she's a teacher and also an advocate for education and how important it is, because it is this equalizer in societies. She also mentioned that it's important that a title holder is more than a pretty face, and that women need to advocate for themselves, and I really liked that to wrap everything up. Now let's talk about someone who came out of nowhere for me. I have heard a few of you comment about her, but she really surprised me in a great way, and that is Barbados. My note for her was just yes, yes, yes. She came in with such passion, and her speaking abilities were so great. You could really feel the confidence when she was talking into that camera, and I loved that. That's something that really, I felt like made her video a little bit different. I could just feel that confidence coming. She mentioned that she was a victim of gender-based violence, and she also talked about that during COVID that she was displaced from her job like so many people, and then that is what led her to become the CEO and create her own digital marketing agency. I feel like that's super inspiring and definitely something that's not easy to do. So I just loved it. She really impressed me. Are you liking this episode? Please share with me your favorite contestant this year. Who are you rooting for? Leave that in the comments below. And if you really want to support the channel, don't forget to subscribe and hit those notifications. Jamaica, oh my gosh, I love her. She's an international model, so she talked about how important those experiences are for her. But she also unfortunately lost her mother, and she mentioned that. And she referenced the power of a mother and also the power of influence and being a role model, and it was just a really beautiful message, the way that she stated everything and how she spoke on camera, and all, she's just gorgeous on top of that. So easy pick, but definitely a standout. She talked about the influence of her great-grandmother and how her great-grandma encouraged her to go to school. So after high school, she didn't continue on to college. She actually went out, she got a job so she could pay for her education. And now she is getting her degree in journalism and psychology. And even though she was a little bit late in her college career, she still did it. She's still accomplishing it. She also featured some really beautiful footage of her serving in her community. And her video just felt so sincere. I also really liked her styling in this video. It wasn't too over the top. Like, she looked great, but she didn't look too pageanty. She didn't look like she was trying too hard. It was so well done. Nepal to me is so elegant. She works in information technology and she pursued this career even though it's primarily male dominated, and she really wants to inspire other young women to go after their dreams regardless of what society tells them that they should do. And she was very calming in this video and beautiful, and Nepal has placed in recent years, so I really would not be surprised to see her show up in a top 20, a top 10. She could be someone that's going to surprise everyone. Ireland is someone who really surprised me. Oh my goodness. So she works with a nonprofit and it's dedicated to addressing mental health issues for children. And they work to create these comic books, and then they're able to share these comic books with children and address these mental health issues and also ways to approach them and to deal with this. And I thought that that was really great and very relevant. But also, she's a fan of sustainable fashion. I'm like, girl, me too. And I loved it. And she talked about how all of her wardrobe that she's worn for her national pageant, or the past ones that she's done, was secondhand. And I just thought that was really great and really relevant as well. She surprised me. Love her. Okay, Great Britain, what a shock. Wow, she was crowned later in the season. She has not had that much time to prepare for Miss Universe, but I feel like her life experience has prepared her for this. So she did mention that she was on the X Factor in the UK and Britain's Got Talent, and essentially she was sort of a celebrity in her country, but she found herself just broke and living at home and not sure what she was gonna do. So she went after her educational goals, and now she works in business, negotiating six-figure deals. But oh my gosh, her confidence shines through in this video. She's so likable and relatable and just everything. And I really hope that she has some great wardrobe going in, because she has potential to go right to a top 5. My favorite video of all the contestants was from Australia. I have talked about her in other episodes. I think that she is incredibly underrated. She's kind of like going in under the radar, but oh my gosh, this video that she did, okay, was amazing. She mentioned that she's South Asian but grew up in Australia. Her family immigrated to Australia in the early 90s. She describes herself as purpose-driven and service-oriented, and she talks about how she has many different things that she enjoys and pursues that kind of led her to this really interesting mix of a career. She has a degree in psychology and management, and she puts that to use by championing for social justice issues. She is a writer, a speaker, and a creator, and she is studying now to become an international life coach. And it sounds like it. It just sounds like she would be an amazing life coach. She's been accomplishing so much. She's working so hard, and she is someone that I see Australia placing this year, and everybody needs to start looking out for her. She is really working very hard, but she makes it look effortless, and that's what's important. And she really gives me these vibes of Demi before she had won. I don't really know how to describe it, but I saw Demi speak in New York after she'd won Miss Universe, and I had actually seen Catriona before she won Miss Universe at New York Fashion Week. So I've seen these women around, and Australia is kind of giving me that vibe. Thank you for watching this episode. Those are my favorites. I hope that you enjoyed this one. Like I said, I'll have lots more episodes leading up to Miss Universe, so stay tuned for those. And I do plan on attending the pageant this year, so look out for my Miss Universe vlog that'll be coming next month. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy this channel, and I appreciate all of your support.